It's crazy how easy it is to get a co-host these days. Look who showed up. I just must note for the people watching, this Virat Kohli Funko Pop has given him the spookiest trim of all time. Because you're like, oh, it's like, you know, a little tussled. What is the fade situation? Oh, the focus of this might be spooky. This is the problem with a different setup. It's like he has a fade, but they've not blended it. And like, that's que desastre. Clara's not here this week, but she does have a message, which is that she's fine. And she thanks you for all the well wishes, brackets, if anyone even asked. I'm talking to myself, no, I'm talking to all of you. I've had to get things that I can fidget with, because usually I have like a mic and I'm, you know, gesturing, I'm gesticulating. Now I'm just a man in a chair. And the setup of this is very much like, if you're watching this message, then it means something bad has happened. Something good's happened. There's a T20 World Cup. Surprise! This is a beginner's guide to the T20 World Cup, because this might be your first T20 World Cup experience as a fan. It might be your 5th, it might be your 50th. It can't be your 50th, there haven't been 50, so you'd be lying. But I thought, if I don't have a co-host this week apart from Virat Kohli, the most prolific run scorer in the men's T20 World Cup history, I might as well run us all through it, because what else am I going to do? So right, get yourself ready, get yourself seated, get comfortable. Let's go. We're going to answer all of the big questions: the who, what, why, how. First of all, when. It starts on the 7th of February, which in layman's terms is this coming Saturday. My mum's birthday is on the 6th of February. They postponed it out of respect. They originally were like, Fridays are fun. Fridays are good, but then I put in a big word. I was like, the big Lorraine, the big L. It's her birthday, so really like J Shah home slice. Yeah, pack it up. When was the last one? It was 2024. That was 2 years ago. Yes, because it's on a 2-year cycle. You might think World Cups from 4-year cycles. Incorrect. Correct. The ODI World Cup, 4-year cycle. The T20 World Cup, every 2 years. So it goes, if we're all ready. T20 World Cup, ODI World Cup, T20 World Cup, Champions Trophy, T20 World Cup, so on and so forth. Spoiler alert, every 2 years there's a T20 World Cup, which is why everyone's like, oh, there's one every 5 minutes. There's one every 2 years. And hey, the passage of time is spooky. They're not dissimilar things. What happened last time? India won. They beat South Africa in the final, which was crazy, because the narrative in that, if you want like cheap gags, is, oh, South Africa always choke. Oh, that India team don't actually ever win anything. Well, one of them had to win something, and by one of them was India, because South Africa always chokes. See, whoever loses, you can just carry on. Clara would want me to mention one fixture, which was England versus Scotland. It rained a lot. Scotland got to bat for 10 overs. England didn't get to bat for any, but obviously that means England lost, or would have lost, because there's no way that Phil Salt and Josh Butler could possibly score at 9 runs and over. I mean, when have they ever done that in their career? Who the heck's in it? 20 teams. Oh, 20 teams, yeah. See, it's funny, because sometimes cricket's like, there's only 8 teams. Sorry, there's only 3 teams. Well, there's 20 teams in this. Name 20 countries. Yeah, food for thought. Would you like to know who those 20 teams are? I just said there were 20, but I didn't say. India and Sri Lanka, duh, they're the hosts. Could you imagine that being like, hey guys, can I crash at your place? I'm going to play a T20 World Cup. Don't concern yourself, you're not invited. India, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Australia, England, South Africa, the USA, unfortunately. No, not unfortunately, growing the game's good, even if they are Yanks. The West Indies, time to get funkier. Ireland, New Zealand, Pakistan, Scotland, yes. Yes, Scotland. Canada, Italy, the Netherlands, Zimbabwe, Nepal, Oman, the UAE. 20 teams. Go back and count them. I promise you, you'll find 20 teams there. Do they just make it up? Yes. You might be like, oh, I keep saying you might be, because I have no one to talk to. I can't speak for you. I'm speaking for myself here. If you happened to be wondering how they picked those teams, well, India, Sri Lanka, they're the hosts. Then they looked at the last World Cup and they were like, who were the next best teams? That's where the next 7 come from, right? Afghanistan, Australia, England, South Africa, the USA, the West Indies. They were the highest performing teams in the last World Cup. Then it goes into rankings, Ireland, New Zealand, Pakistan, and it was to be Bangladesh. It was to be Bangladesh. Unfortunately, you know, I've planned this video 3 separate times. I'll tell you why. Number one, it was like, oh, Bangladesh are in it. Then I was talking about India playing Pakistan. I hate to break it to you, but those things are not happening. So Bangladesh, the long and short of it. Hey, we'll talk about this next week in actual detail in conversation with the artist known as Clara. Bangladesh had a player in the IPL, Mustafizur Rahman, the Fizz. We all know him as the Fizz. The BCCI said to KKR, this guy's got to go. This guy's got to go, which they got rid of him. Bangladesh were like, that's whack. Wait a minute, you kicked our player out of the IPL. We're not going to come to India to play our matches. We'll just play our matches in Sri Lanka. That's what Pakistan are doing. The ICC said, hey, buddy, you don't have motion like that. You don't have motion like that, I'm sorry. Maybe it's one way for some countries. You're not one of those countries. You don't have the juice like that, little bro. They little broed Bangladesh, basically. They were like, you're going to put up or you're going to shut up. And Bangladesh said, fine, we're not going to show up. Scotland then come. Scotland are in because they were the next highest ranked team. The reason why this is interesting is because, as I will go on to talk about, anywhere from 1 minute to 5, depending on how sidelined I get, don't put me in a box. If you look at the actual qualifiers, they paint a different picture. It wasn't just like a plug and play of like, let's pick another team who had the next best qualifying tally from their region. No, Bangladesh were in there as one of the next highest ranked teams. So then Scotland by being the next highest ranked team, and then after them it would have been Uganda. If Pakistan had turned around, yes, they meant like, we're not doing this. Full stop. So it's Scotland. Then, hey, it was like 90 seconds tops. Don't count that. Canada, Italy, them, man. Regional qualifiers all around the world. They were in little qualifying groups. They played little qualifying competitions, little qualifying competitions. The ones with the most points make it in. So the bad news is now England have to play an extra European team. Why is that bad? England have never beaten a European side at a T20 World Cup, which is why everyone says they were going to lose to Scotland, because people believe in curses and juju and black magic. I just believe in the boys. That's why I believe in the boys. Who's playing who? Yeah, duh. I've just said that. Spoiler alert, England are playing Scotland. Be there or be square. Cricket square. Still funny without her. Who's playing who? And yeah, I am just going to read this off. I'd say I put it on screen. No, just listen, close your eyes, be with me. Group A. India, Namibia, the Netherlands, Pakistan, the USA. Whoa, India, Pakistan. I thought you just said, hey. Well, hot off the press, this was yesterday's news. This is the definition of yesterday's news. Pakistan, their government were like, we're going to go to the World Cup, but we're not going to play India. Why is that interesting to all of us? Because we've spent years being like, oh, the ICC's entire financial model relies on the broadcast rights being valuable because so many eyes want to be on India versus Pakistan. You may wonder, what happens to those broadcast deals if India don't play Pakistan? The answer is bad things. The people do not want it. That's why you will probably see today loads of like big cricket bigwigs who pretend to be neutral, but like they want to get paid money by the system, are all like, oh, there's no way this won't happen. Think about the punishment Pakistan might face. Oh, but really, what do the people of Pakistan want? When, like, you can't speak for anyone else. I can't speak for anyone else. I'm a white guy from England. No one wants to hear me telling India and Pakistan how they should be feeling. But this match is a big cash cow. If it doesn't happen, people are upset because where does the money come from? You may say, if you're inclined to my point of view, if a system relies on one match and one fixture being artificially generated as many times as is humanly possible for there to be a relatively healthy financial system, would that suggest that maybe your system has a major problem? Yes, this obviously isn't good. So now it's the whole song and dance of, are they going to play? Are they not going to play? They weren't shaking hands before, which I thought was funny. It's like, we will play you, but we won't shake your hands afterwards, which I'm sure proved a massive point. We're moving on. We're not going to talk about Group A. Come on, it's not a beginner's guide to Group A. Group B, that's the next letter in the alphabet. Australia, Ireland, Oman, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe. Yeah, Australia hate watchers will be on the menu. I'd say, what does Sri Lanka have for me based on this recent T20 series against England? Like, don't concern yourself with that. Group C, England, the mighty England. Italy, European. Nepal, not European. Scotland, European. The West Indies, England's like situationship. They play these guys all the time. I think I saw someone the other day talking about how many times they've played each other in the last few years. They love a bilateral series. But would you say no to a work trip to the Caribbean just before winter? No, you wouldn't. Schedule that tour. Group D, Afghanistan, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, the UAE. There we have our 4 groups. What happens? How does this work? So they have those 4 groups, right? They all play each other within their group. Then they go into something funky called the Super 8s, which is because there are 8 teams. So the top 2 teams from each group qualify. They then go into groups of 4, which 2 4s is 8. Super 8s. They're super because the ICC said they're good. You might think, oh, so is there going to be a draw where like, oh, the teams who finished first will get mixed with teams who finished second? No. My sweet, foolish friend. No, they won't. No, they've seeded 8 of them already, and by 8 of them, I mean their 8 favourites. So they have picked Australia, India, South Africa, the West Indies would be seeded to go into Group 1 together. England, New Zealand, Pakistan and Sri Lanka would go into Group 2. So it doesn't matter where they would finish in their group. If they all finish second in their group, that's obviously not possible. They play in the same groups. I digress. Wherever they finish, if those 8 were the ones to qualify, they would go into that arrangement. They would go 4 and 4. Why? Because, imagine having a draw. Like, what an ache that would be. Just pick who plays who. We might as well just pick the final now. That we're not getting into that. We're not getting into snarky commentary on ICC favouritism when it's a one-person podcast, because then it just becomes like a hating set. I mean, it might be. We can all read between the lines. I mean, it makes more sense from there because then it is 1 plays 2 and 2 plays 1 for the semi-finals. But up to that point, just accept things how they are. That's what the system wants you to do. Where are they playing? India and Sri Lanka, dummy. You've said that already. No. Geographically, fine. There are 8 venues. 8. 5 in India, 3 in Sri Lanka. The big dog in India is the Modi, the Narendra Modi, the Ahmedabad Stadium, or Ahmedabad, depending on how... or Ahmedabad, depending on how much you want me to try and really nail the authentic pronunciation in a way that doesn't make me look like a fool. But I look like a fool enough already. I've got a tickle in my throat now. One moment. Ahmedabad, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai. There you go, your 5 big ones. If you're a fan of the IPL, and believe you me, in a couple of months after a beginner's guide to the IPL, you sure will be. They're your 5 Indian grounds. Then in Sri Lanka, you've got 2 in Colombo and 1 in Kandy. It's that simple. 8 venues. Obviously, names and geography are boring. What you want to know, what are the pitches going to do? Because what is cricket if not talking about pitches? Well, if you look across cricket in India over the last 2 years, those scores are big. There's some big scores. There are lots of runs to be had. But then you have to apply what I would call World Cup tax. Every time you go into a country and you're like, oh, these pitches have been banging, like 280 is going to play 280. Whatever you think you have to accept that when they rock up and have a World Cup there and do whatever they want with those pitches, the powers that be, you might not get that. The actual fact that, again, everyone guesses about is dew. Like the wet, watery layer on the grass, which means that teams are terrified of bowling second because the ball gets damp and soggy and then they can't throw it and they can't spin it and everything goes badly and it's wet and their socks get wet and then they get like trench foot at Eden Gardens, man. That kind of sounds like a rapper mixtape. Trench foot at Eden Gardens. I might steal that one. I mean, in terms of favourites, India are a banging T20 team because down to 8, they just have a million guys, brackets, 8, who can just hit loads of sixes. Just watch Abhishek Sharma play and you will experience some level of joy. Pure joy that can only be found through seeing a man just try and hit every ball for 6. We are going to talk about the others though, and by others I mean like 5 others, because what is a cricket podcast and preview if not being like, well, I don't actually know anything about Nepal. I could make it up. That would probably be deeply hurtful to many people. I could do it. No? We're going to stick to what we know. We're going to stick to what we know. We're going to about England. Next. England have very good batting. This isn't a bit. England, I think, as formats go, they get criticised a lot. They have been still, over the last few years, a strong T20 side. They put 300 up against South Africa last summer. That's no fluke. The partnership of Salt and Butler, for me, always gives them a chance, because playing in India, these are two guys who have delivered in the IPL, which is, obviously, as I've said, pitches may not play exactly as they do in April, May time, but conditions are conditions. If you've played there before and scored runs, you are going to go out there and think, I've been here before. I have played these games before. Just get off the internet, man. England have a legitimately really strong batting order of Salt, Butler, Harry Brook, if we're not calling him stupid and he doesn't have to issue like another public apology this week. He's on 3 and 3. The fast bowling for England's where things get a bit spooky, because they're trying out this lineup, at least in Sri Lanka, where they stack it up with spin options, then they get the pace out of Jofra, Sam Curran, Jamie Overton. Sam Curran in the power play, it's not what the fans want to see. Sam Curran like middle overs and death session, everyone cheered. Power play sessions with Joverton and Scurran. This is not the vitality blast at the Kia Oval. So I do feel England could bat really well, but it's not out of the question that if they do play on a flat pitch, their bowling might get leathered. Australia bowling is a question mark, because before they were like Cummins, Hazelwood, they're calm, we're going to be fine, we will be there. Cummins is out, Hazelwood's now going to be late. And it's no secret, this isn't breaking news cricket analysis. Experienced good bowlers are the bowlers you would like to have. Bringing in Ben Dwarshuis and maybe Sean Abbott is obviously a step down in quality. Nathan Ellis has had recent fitness issues, not ideal. Australia have Travis Head though. At the end of the day, if you have Head and Marsh at the top, it's not out of the question that you just score lots and lots of runs and that takes you to a certain point. And the thing with bowling, you just need to have a good day. This is the tournament, after all, that gave us Sam Curran player of the tournament, player of the match in the final, who just realised that if you just bowl slower balls back of a length on massive Australian pitches, actually most players do just hit the ball straight up into the air. Bowling maybe just isn't real. South Africa, 2024 finalists, perennially strong lately. They are always there or thereabouts in ICC competitions. But as I've said, the lazy critic is like, but they'll bottle it. So we'll leave it at that. Again, lazy critic of New Zealand, you can just say some stuff to be like, they're such plucky underdogs. They work so hard. Poor little New Zealanders. You like rub their hair, a little ruffle of the hair. The lesson of New Zealand is to be really patronising, even though they have a legitimately well put together bowling attack, and they have Tim Seifert, who is just scoring runs for fun. Finn Allen, again, runs for fun. Not fun runs, runs for fun. They are fun runs. People still have to be like, cute little New Zealand. They're just good. Your nerdy son, though, he's going to try and be like Afghanistan and the dark horses. He's the same one who at the start of every FIFA World Cup is telling you about like Turkey and why this is really their time. Don't believe the hype. Just don't let yourself get concerned about what Afghanistan are going to do. Like, you don't need to do that. Pro tips as well from that you just need to know to survive this. Net run rate will get mentioned a lot, but the mistake is they will start saying incorrect things about net run rate on the broadcast, and on the internet they'll start talking about margins of victory that a team really does not need to worry about, because otherwise they'll basically be out, and then they won't be out. I think I've mentioned this 3 weeks and I'll mention it another time. Everyone was convinced in 2024 because of the rain and because of net run rate that England were so finished, it was so over. And then they got to the semi-final, so go figure. And the semi-final brings me on to the next topic, rain. Whatever people say about rain, do not believe that match is gone until that match is officially abandoned. Every England group match, they were trying to tell you, the journalists on site were like, the clouds don't look good. The clouds are blowing the wrong way, which isn't how rain works. They played those matches, they got those runs, they got that net run rate boost. Then they got to the semi-final where again everyone was like, it's going to be a washout. And there was no reserve day. There was no reserve day for one semi-final. There was a reserve day for another semi-final. Good old ICC. But anyway, everyone was like, it's going to get rained out. And yeah, it rained loads that day. But they still played a match and lost, which is noble. It's noble to lose. Whoa, holy segue. That was thunderstorms. And I was talking about rain, thunderstorms. A World Cup is nothing without a good bit of music, and I think that the T20 World Cup anthem peaked in 2021 with Live the Game, Love the Game. Now, you're probably thinking, that's great, why do you have a guitar? Because every function ends with a white dude with a guitar. White dude with a white guitar. Whoa! And you may be thinking, next time at a function, I want to like really impress the people that I want to impress, whoever that may be. How can I put out a guitar and whip out Live the Game, Love the Game when the internet doesn't tell me how? Well, I'll tell you how, because this is your online resource. We're going to play Live the Game, Love the Game together. Now, there aren't that many bits to it. It's in D minor, which is often said to be the saddest. Excuse the absolutely horrendous tone. This is a wonderful practice amp that I got about 7 years ago for no real money at all. So if it sounds a little janky, it's a little like kind of like garage feel to it. You know, we're raw, we're hardcore. So it's in D minor. Now, there are a few bits to it. Obviously, it's a work of art. Yeah, I'm just going to fiddle with the volume and tone knobs to look really pro. So you actually want to work your way up to D. So with a little like B flat go, then to a C, then up to a D. So the da 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 da. Come live the game. Right, so you're working way up. There's also, you know, then that goes for da 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 da. Come live the game, love the game. There's like a little synth bit as well, isn't there? So it's like up here on the 15th fret of the B string. You know, just that. How funky is that? But more importantly, there's the verse as well, which goes like D minor, C, A minor, A sharp. So it's like a little stompy rhythm. Like you can really like get your head going to this. So like come on, let's get moving. And then you know there's something happening in the air. Let the world know. Come live the game. There aren't like enough cricket songs that you can really like guitar. I mean, there's always like. But you can also do the sad one, so which I would mention. I don't know, why does the sad IPL theme come up so much in this podcast? Just imagine this guy looking real sad to that one. What other like cricket? That one, yeah. Obviously, like no song's anything without a Glee style mashup. So other songs in D minor, you know, feel free. Any song you want in D minor could be chopped up with Live the Game, Love the Game, or F major. You know, it's relative major, relative minor. It's like you've got what's in F? A Change of Heart. You know, so like. Musical requests are always welcome on this podcast. I think Live the Game, Love the Game. It's breaking up, basically distorted. People did also ask questions for me this week. Highest run scorer. So the thing is, my head tells me it's going to be Abhishek or it's going to be Tilak. But I also think India are going to win the whole damn thing. And the winner of the whole damn thing rarely has the top run scorer. Rarely. Not never. But like it's a weird little quirk there. So maybe I could reverse psychology by being like Abhishek or Tilak. Go and bet everything you have on it, don't bet. Like, I'm not endorsing gambling. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm quite anti-gambling, to be honest. Because I want it to be Josh Butler. Like, we know I want it to be Josh Butler. You know that. I know that. They know that. It could be. He is very good in the T20 World Cup. wicket taker, Varun Chakravarti. Just, it's not going to be Bumrah because people are too smart now against Bumrah. They're too scared of him. They're shook. They play him out a little bit. So they're like, oh, I'm not gonna do anything dumb here. And then they do something dumb against Chakravarti because they decide to reverse sweep him on like the worst line ever. Someone asked about general excitement levels for this one. I think obviously, given recent developments between no fewer than 3 countries taking part in it, 4 if you include Scotland being told on no notice, you need a kit, you need sponsors, you also need to be in India. I think excitement is an interesting word for this one. I don't know how excited the world feels. I'm always excited for England to be in a World Cup because I delusionally always think England might win something. They might. I mean, you know, what if this is our year? What if everyone thinks it isn't? So what if it is? No. I think it's a bit of a weird one. I think because of the nature of how organisationally messed up it's been, it might feel a little bit funny even at the start. I mean, someone also asked about like Tom Banton reverse sweeps or Ben Duckett reverse sweeps. I'm hoping that they're Tom Banton reverse sweeps. Look, this isn't me being like, oh, England should never pick Ben Duckett in a T20. I just think their current T20 side is pretty well structured, and putting him in there risks shuffling it around in a way that I don't think is for the benefit of the team. Mainly because Tom Banton's great. Tom Banton is so, people use this word so much, it does my head in, underrated. Tom Banton is legit underrated. People talk about like players who should play for England more. It's not that he should play for England more, it's they should sort of be forcing to bat 7 and face about 5 balls. Seeing him at 4, where he can take on spinners, so good. So good. That might be it. My propeller. I never got to talk about this last week, so I'll talk about it now. I'm like obviously super happy there's a new Arctic Monkeys song. And it's just my propeller though, isn't it? Because like that's like an opening note, just it's just the same. I mean, any song in the same key and with the same chords will sound the same way. It's the music, you know. Go take him to court, what they can do, take themselves to court. But like banger. But I was like, yeah. If you're gonna repeat one of your own songs, I think My Propeller's a great one to do. It's such a good song, such a good album. I mean, I've even literally got the t-shirt. Oh, is this podcast someone who wears band t-shirts now? I'm at home, my bad, guys. Not my bad. Wear what you want to wear. This is spiraling. You know everything you think about the T20 World Cup now. You can even talk about like how to play Live the Game, Love the Game on your instrument of choice. Just like go out there and vibes it. You'll be fine. The thing about the T20 World Cup is you hear a lot of drivel. Because everyone likes to think their hot take is like, oh, hot take guys, but like T20 is actually bad. T20 is actually boring. I don't like it. It's not a hot take when like everyone's always saying that. It's actually a hot take for you to turn around and be like, I don't care for Test cricket. I do. I like Test cricket. But if you were to turn around and say, I hate Test cricket and I love T20, I think that's a hotter take. Clara will be back next week, so thanks for making do with me. I like to say I like to think we've had fun. I've had fun. Maybe I'll give us a musical outro. We need a theme song. I don't know, I've just played a singular C note. Maybe, because I'll see you later. Guys, wait. Open C. I'll see you later. Musical outro is such a good outro, so I really have to turn to my Arctic Monkeys and cricket, which I suppose, like, if you like either of those things, this is probably a good place for you. See you next week. Oh, there's a good segue. So this one is 4 out of 5. But you don't want to do that. You want to, on Spotify, rate us 5 stars out of 5. See, that's a good musical bit. Oh man, I can see why people do this more. Like, the possibilities are endless. Rate it 5 stars out of 5. Send Clara some well wishes, and we will catch you next week.